The day is slipping away now. The edges are softer. The sounds are quieter. Nothing is urgent here. Nothing needs to be done. Just this gentle moment, just this slow, easy settling. Imagine a soft mist beginning to gather around you. Not cold, not heavy. Just a tender, quiet fog hanging in the air like a soft breath. It wraps around you slowly, the way a warm blanket settles over your shoulders. It does not rush, it does not push, it only holds. Notice how your body begins to respond to this softness. A little more weight in the shoulders, a little more ease in the jaw. A small, quiet sigh from somewhere deep inside. If it feels comfortable, allow your eyes to rest. Let the muscles around them melt and grow heavy. The world can fade into the background now. You do not have to look at anything. You do not have to respond to anything. Here, in this soft mist, you are completely safe. You are completely held. The world outside can wait. Bring your attention gently toward your breathing. You do not need to change it. Just notice. Notice the air moving in, and then the air moving out. In and out. Maybe the breath feels shallow. Maybe it feels deep. Whatever it is enough. It is already doing exactly what it needs to do. With each breath in, the mist around you grows a little fuller. With each breath out, your body grows a little heavier, a little more relaxed. Breathing in, the soft fog gathers like a quiet cloud hugging close. Breathing out, your weight drops down into the surface that is holding you. Feel the support beneath you, the bed, the couch, the place where you rest. Notice how it rises up gently to meet you. You do not have to hold yourself up. You are being held. Let that thought sink in for a moment. You are being held, supported, safe. The mist begins to spread out now, rolling over gentle hills in the distance of your mind. The shapes are soft and rounded, nothing sharp, nothing harsh. Just long, quiet slopes covered in a blanket of silvery fog. The air is still, calm, peaceful. As you breathe, imagine that you are resting right there, where the hills are quiet and the world is hushed. You are not walking. You are not moving. You are simply there, resting within the mist. Your body can grow heavier here. Let the weight of your head sink down. Feel your neck loosen and soften. Notice your shoulders. They may have been holding the day for you. The plans, the thoughts, the worries. See if they can drop just a little, as if the mist is gently pressing down with the lightest, kindest touch. The arms grow heavy and warm. The hands no longer need to reach or hold anything. They can simply rest. Your chest rises and falls in a slow, easy rhythm. Like the fog lifting and settling over the hills, your breath moves in lazy, gentle waves. Rising, falling, in, out. With each exhale, imagine the day drifting away from you. Small pieces of tension floating out into the mist, where they dissolve and disappear. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to bring them back. Thoughts may wander in as they do. Memories of the day, little plans for tomorrow. That is all right. You do not have to stop them. Just picture them as shapes in the fog. They appear for a moment, and then they fade, becoming part of the soft, quiet air all around you. Nothing stays for long here. Everything softens. Everything drifts. Bring your attention now to the weight of your body from head to toe. Feel how solid you are, how real, how gently you are anchored. Notice the back of your head resting, the curve of your neck, the line of your spine. Each place where your body meets the surface beneath you is like a point of contact with the earth itself, steady, grounded, unmoving. The mist curls around the edges of your body, around your shoulders, around your arms, around your legs and feet. It is as if you are lying in a shallow pool of soft, silvery air, floating, yet fully supported, weightless and heavy at the same time. If any part of you still feels tight, imagine the fog touching that place. A slow, tender touch. Nothing forced, nothing demanding. Just a cool, gentle kiss of moisture and quiet. Breathing in, feeling that touch. Breathing out, letting that place soften, even a little. Here, in this quiet space, you are allowed to let go. You are allowed to stop trying. You are allowed to rest exactly as you are. No perfect way to breathe. No perfect way to relax. Simply this body, in this moment, wrapped in softness. Notice the space around your heart. You might feel the beat. You might not. Either way is fine. Imagine the mist swirling around your chest like a gentle embrace. It says, without words, you are safe. You have done enough. You can rest now. Allow those words to sink in if they feel kind. You have done enough. You can rest now. The fog over the hills grows thicker, quieter, more still. Sound is muffled. Edges disappear. The world shrinks to this soft, protected place. Even your thoughts begin to move more slowly, as if they too are walking through this gentle mist, with no need to hurry, no place they must arrive. Your breath continues, steady and calm, in its own time, in its own way. Notice the coolness or warmth of the air at the tip of your nose as you breathe in, and the slight change as you breathe out. Follow one full breath from the very beginning of the inhale to the gentle pause at the top, and then the long, slow exhale all the way to the end. Then another, and another. Each breath, a soft wave rolling through you. Each exhale, a release. Around you, the hills are silent under their blanket of fog. The sky above is soft and distant. Time has loosened its grip. Nothing is expected of you now. Nowhere you need to be. Nothing you need to figure out. The mist has taken the edges off the day. The light is dim and kind. Every sound is far away. Feel how your body responds to knowing that you are safe here. Maybe the belly loosens. Maybe the muscles around the hips grow heavier. Maybe the legs sink more deeply into the surface, as if the earth is gently drawing you closer. Allow that drawing down. Allow the heaviness, the softness. If your mind wanders, just notice that it has drifted, the way a small bird might lift off into the fog. Then very gently invite it back to the feeling of your body resting, to the slow rhythm of your breath, back to the soft weight of your body and the quiet mist holding you. Here, everything moves at the pace of clouds, slow, unhurried, gentle. You are wrapped in quiet now, wrapped in safety, wrapped in the tender, patient arms of this soft, protective fog. Each breath carries you a little deeper into ease, a little farther from the noise of the day, a little closer to the calm, still center of yourself. Rest in this feeling of being held, of being completely supported, of being allowed to simply be. The hills, the mist, the quiet air, all of it is here to cradle you as your breath moves softly in and gently out, and the whole world around you grows slower and quieter and softer with every passing moment. The night is loosening its hold. Above, the sky is still a deep, quiet blue, but it has begun to soften at the edges, as if someone has breathed a pale light into it from far away. The world around you is hushed, held in a gentle pause, as though morning has arrived, but has not yet announced itself. You are on a hillside, resting in the tender stillness before the day begins. All around, a soft veil of fog clings to the curves of the land. It gathers in the folds of the hills, drifts low across the grass, and hangs in the air like a gentle whisper. The mist blurs the edges of everything, so that nothing feels harsh or sharp. Every shape is rounded, quiet, and kind. The ground beneath you is cool and steady. It holds you with an easy, patient weight. Far above, the last of the night stars are fading behind the growing glow. The sky is changing so slowly that you almost do not notice it at first. One breath, it is a deep, resting blue. The next breath, the blue lightens just a little, taking on a soft, pearly wash near the horizon. The change is so gradual, so gentle, that it feels like watching someone slowly wake from a peaceful sleep. As the sky brightens, the fog around you seems to glow from within. It turns from a dim grey into a pale silver mist. The air feels cool against your skin, but not cold. It has the clean, quiet feeling of early morning, as if the whole world has been rinsed clear. Each breath you take is slow and unhurried. The moist air carries a faint, earthy scent from the soil and the grass. Dew has gathered during the night, tiny drops resting on each blade, each stem. The droplets are so small and so many that the hillside feels wrapped in a hidden shimmer, waiting for the light. If you pay attention, you can almost sense the dew without having to see it. You know it in the way the air feels slightly heavier near the ground. You feel it in the coolness that rises softly from the earth, in the delicate touch of moisture on your skin. Everything is fresh. Everything is just beginning. The hills around you roll away in quiet waves, but for now their outlines are faint and gentle. They are like distant memories, present but soft, hidden behind the layers of fog. As the sky slowly shifts from deep blue toward a quiet pearly glow, those distant shapes begin to return. They do not rush. They emerge with care. At first, it is only the hint of a darker tone behind the mist, a suggestion that something is there, far beyond. Then, as the light grows a little stronger, the shapes deepen. The far hillside separates itself from the fog, a dim, curved line against the brightening sky. It feels as though the land is waking up, piece by piece. The world is still so very quiet. No loud sounds, just the softness of almost silence. Perhaps a distant bird gives a single, tentative call, testing the morning. The sound drifts through the mist and fades, leaving the peaceful hush even deeper than before. Here, in this calm, your own awareness is gentle and unforced. You are not fully awake, yet not lost in sleep. You are resting on that soft line between the two. Thoughts move slowly, like the fog that drifts lazily across the hillside. Nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be decided. You are simply here in this early light. The sky, once a deep, still blue, is turning more luminous as time moves in small, quiet steps. The horizon glows with a subtle, silvery white. Not a sharp brightness, but a milk-soft, pearly light that spreads upward in a tender gradient. The change is so calm that it feels like a long, slow breath. The fog lifts in wisps and curls, but it does not vanish all at once. It stays close to the earth, wrapping the hills like a gentle blanket. In some places, it thins just enough to reveal the texture of the land beneath. A dark patch of soil, a cluster of taller grasses, a faint hint of a path winding down the slope. Dew clings to every surface. On each blade of grass, tiny droplets gather, so many that the green is almost hidden beneath them. The blades lean under the delicate weight, then rise again. If you were to brush your hand slowly through the grass, you could imagine the cool wetness on your fingertips, the smooth slide of moisture, the spring of the stems beneath your touch. The idea alone brings a sense of fresh, simple calm. You remain still, letting this quiet scene unfold at its own pace. The mind settles, much like the fog itself, growing thicker and softer in the low places of thought, leaving the higher edges open to the pale morning light. You do not have to hold on to anything. You do not have to push anything away. There is only this gentle meeting of fog and dawn. In the distance, the far hills grow clearer, yet they stay peaceful and blue-grey, resting under their own thin layer of mist. The closer slopes show more detail now. You can sense the gentle curves, the rise and fall of the ground, the way the land cradles the fog like cupped hands. Light moves over the scene with patience. It slides over the upper edges of the hills first, touching them with a slightly warmer tone. The sky near the horizon glows a bit brighter, though still soft, still easy on the eyes. Above, the higher sky holds on to its deeper blue, creating a smooth, quiet gradient from night into morning. This in-between time feels like a safe shelter. You are held in it, just as the hillside is held by the fog. Not asked to wake fully, not asked to sleep more deeply. Just resting on that gentle boundary where both are possible and neither is urgent. Thoughts come and go without catching. Sensations arrive and fade with no hurry. The body feels a little heavier against the ground or the surface beneath you. Muscles that were holding just a little, begin to soften. The jaw loosens, the shoulders lower. The breath becomes slower and deeper, naturally, like the easy rolling of distant hills. Each exhale seems to sink you more deeply into the support beneath you, as if the hillside is welcoming you into its calm. The fog around you shifts with each faint movement of air. Sometimes it thickens for a moment, then thins again, allowing more light to slip through. When the mist grows denser, the world feels even quieter, as if the sounds are wrapped in cotton. When it clears just a little, the distant hills show themselves again, a reminder of the wider world resting beyond this gentle cocoon. There is a quiet curiosity in this. You notice the changing sky, the way the brightness grows without any sharpness. You notice the soft coolness of the morning, the sense of newness in the air. But there is no urgency in your noticing. Each detail arrives as if floating on a calm stream, drifting past without effort. Over time, curiosity itself begins to relax. The mind no longer leans forward to see what comes next. It simply allows each moment to be as it is. The unfolding of light, the drift of fog, the quiet shapes of the hills, the dew on the grass, the stillness of your own body. All of it part of one easy, continuous breath. The pearly glow in the sky deepens now. It spreads wider, higher, resting softly over the land. Yet the overall feeling stays muted and gentle. There is no harsh glare, only a growing sense of warmth behind the mist, a promise of day that does not press too hard. It is enough just to feel that the world is slowly waking while you remain cocooned in this safe early hush. Your thoughts grow simpler. Perhaps you notice the rhythm of your breathing, the cool air on the in-breath, the warmth on the out-breath, the way your chest rises and falls in a calm, steady pattern. This rhythm begins to match the slow, rolling lines of the hills, the easy movement of fog, the gradual brightening of the sky. Everything flows together into one quiet, repeating motion. Time feels softer here. Moments stretch and blend like the colors above you. There is no need to count them or hold them. You can let them slip by, like the last stars fading into the morning blue, done with their work for now. A deeper comfort settles in. The hillside, the fog, the dew, the waking sky, they all seem to lean toward rest, not away from it. Even as the day prepares to begin, this place remains tender and slow. You are safe within it, wrapped in mist, held by the calm weight of the earth, gently cradled by the rising light. Breath by breath, you drift a little further into ease. Thought softens at the edges and then dissolve, like distant hills disappearing again behind a passing fold of fog. Sensations become simpler, quieter. The steady presence of the ground beneath you, the cool, moist air, the gentle pull of gravity inviting you to let go just a bit more. The sky continues its slow shift from deep blue toward a quieter, brighter softness. But you do not need to follow every change. You can let the world take care of its own awakening. For now, you rest within this quiet hillside dawn, held lightly between night and day, between sleeping and waking. You float in that tender place where everything is calm and everything is enough, and the silence around you deepens, like fog settling gently over the rolling hills. The world around you is very quiet now, soft, dimension, easy. You find yourself on a gentle path, curving slowly through low hills. The air is cool and moist, and everything is wrapped in a calm silver mist. Sounds feel far away, muted and kind. Under your feet, the ground is soft and slightly damp. Each step sinks in just a little, like the earth is welcoming you and holding you with care. Your footsteps make a quiet, cushioned sound, almost a whisper against the ground. The mist drifts easily around you. It brushes your skin with a cool, tender touch, like a soft cloth soaked in calm. You can feel tiny beads of moisture resting on your cheeks, on your forehead, along the line of your jaw. It is neither cold nor warm, just balanced, just gentle. Breathing here is slow and simple. The air feels pure and mild as it moves in. It slides down into your chest with no effort at all, then glides back out, smooth and quiet. Inhale, exhale. The rhythm is unhurried, as if time itself has slowed to match the pace of your steps. Shapes rise and fall around you, but nothing is sharp. Hills swell up on either side, but their edges have been softened by the fog, turned to pale rounded curves. Trees stand here and there, but their branches fade into the mist, like watercolor gently blurred with water. Nothing needs to be clear. Nothing needs to be exact. The path winds ahead, but you do not see very far. Only a short stretch is visible at any moment, just enough for the next few steps. That is all you need. You place one foot down, then the other. The ground holds you steady and secure. As you walk, the sound of your footsteps becomes a slow, gentle heartbeat, soft thuds on damp earth, a quiet, even pattern that reassures the body without words. Each step says, I am here. I am safe. I am moving forward, easily, slowly. The mist wraps the world in hush. Leaves are still. Grass is heavy with moisture. Even the air feels thick enough to soak up stray noises. If there are birds or distant streams, their sounds are blurred into the background, woven into the soft silence that surrounds you. You notice how the mist gathers around your hands, your arms, your shoulders. The sleeves of your clothing feel slightly cool and comforting against your skin. Tiny drops of water cling to fabric and hair, making everything just a little heavier, a little more grounded. Each breath you take seems to pull the fog gently into you, not as something seen, but as a feeling, a quieting, a softening. The coolness in the air flows through your nose, down the back of your throat, and settles low in your body, spreading calm as it goes. You do not need to rush. The path is in no hurry. It bends slowly, drifting side to side, meandering across the hills. You follow its curves without thinking, turning here, leaning slightly there. Every motion is smooth and unforced, like water flowing around a stone. Sometimes the mist thickens and the world narrows. The path just ahead becomes a hazy ribbon, and everything beyond a few steps melts into a soft white veil. You cannot see what is coming, and that is perfectly all right. Slowly, the need to see ahead loosens its grip. You may notice old habits rising, the mind's wish to know where the path goes, what waits on the other side of the hill. But the fog is kind. It does not argue. It simply softens the distance, tucks the future away, and invites you back to this small, quiet piece of now. The weight of that question, what comes next, begins to fade. Instead, you feel the firmness of the damp earth under your soles. You feel the cool kiss of air against your face. You feel the gentle pull of gravity in your legs, your steps slow and sure. This is what is real right now. This soft, foggy walk, this easy, quiet pace. Far-off shapes appear and disappear at the edges of your sight. A lone tree, standing on a hill, then fading back into the mist. A fence post, dark and damp, showing for a moment, and then gone. Every form is softened, blurred, like a memory just on the edge of recall. Nothing demands your focus. Nothing calls for sharp attention. With each step, the edges inside you begin to blur as well. Thoughts that once felt hard and bright now seem distant, like silhouettes behind a frosted window. You may remember them for a moment, and then the mist closes gently around them, softening their lines until they drift away. You walk on. Your pace is steady and slow. The body moves almost by itself, giving your mind room to rest. Time stretches. There is no need to hurry and no need to stop. Just this kind, endless wandering through gentle, rolling fog. As you breathe, imagine exhaling any sharpness within you, any tight corners, any harsh lines, any restless edges. Feel them smoothing out like ink spreading softly through water. They lose their angles and soften into quiet shapes, barely there, floating away on the mist. The path curves a little uphill now, just enough for you to feel a slow, easy lift in your legs. The rise is smooth and forgiving. You take your time. There is no strain, only the deep, pleasant sense of being carried upward, step by step, by your own calm motion. At the top of the hill, the air seems even quieter. The fog is thicker here, wrapped close around you. It feels as though you are walking in a quiet cloud, floating between earth and sky. The world below and the sky above have both faded to the same soft shade. Here, in this gentle height, the need to see far falls away completely. You cannot see beyond a short circle around you, and within this circle, everything is simple. Your breath, your body, the slow, cushioned sound of your steps. You may notice the way your shoulders sink a little lower, the way your jaw softens, the way your hands rest more easily at your sides. Muscles that once held themselves ready for the next thing begin to realize that nothing urgent is coming. There is only this walk, only this mist, only this quiet. Thoughts drift in now and then, as thoughts do, but they move through the fog like distant shapes on far hills. You see them appear, watch them soften, and then let them fade back into the pale distance. You do not need to chase them. The mist takes care of them for you. With every breath out, the inner chatter grows fainter. Words grow slower, then quieter, then softer still, until they feel less like sentences and more like a faint hum far away. The fog folds gently over that hum, like a blanket pulled up to the chin, and the mind relaxes under its warmth. Your steps may begin to feel almost weightless now, as if you are gliding just above the ground rather than pressing into it. The damp earth still supports you, still holds you, but you move with such ease that each motion feels more like a gentle drift than a walk. The cool touch of the mist on your skin becomes familiar, comforting, like a soft hand resting lightly on your brow. It soothes any last bits of tension. It smooths the lines of the day from your face. It calms the space behind your eyes where thoughts used to flicker. You are surrounded by softness, soft air, soft ground, soft light, soft thoughts. There is nothing to figure out here, nothing to fix, nothing to prepare for. The path is simple, just this easy step, and then the next, and then the next. The fog holds the rest of the world at a kind distance, so you can simply be where you are. One more slow breath in. Feel the cool air fill your chest. Feel your ribs expand in a gentle, rounded way. Then breathe out, long and unforced, like a sigh that takes with it any remaining tension, sending it away into the waiting mist. You continue along the soft, winding path, wrapped in silence, wrapped in cloud, wrapped in ease. The world around you is quiet and blurred, and the world within you begins to match it. Thoughts fading to whispers, feelings settling into still pools, everything drifting toward rest. Step by step, breath by breath, you sink deeper into this dreamy calm. The mist grows softer, the hills grow gentler, the space inside you opens wide and peaceful, and you move through it slowly, quietly, as everything grows quieter still. The hills that surrounded you before now begin to draw closer, almost without moving at all, until they feel like gentle arms around a quiet heart. The ground underfoot softens, the path easing downward, curving in a slow, unhurried way, inviting you to follow. The light around you grows dimmer, not dark, just softened, like a lamp covered with a thin, milky shade. The fog pools low and thick here, as if it has chosen this place to rest. Each breath feels slower, deeper, wrapped in cool, still air. As you move down into the valley, sounds begin to change. The world seems to step back a pace or two. Whatever was sharp or clear becomes blurred at the edges. Footsteps are muffled by damp earth and soft grass. Even the faint rhythm of your own breathing seems to blend into the quiet, as though the fog is gently folding it in. Far away, there might be a single bird, calling once and then fading, as if its voice has to travel through layers of soft cotton. The call does not cut through the silence. It floats, distant and weightless, then disappears completely. High above, leaves may stir, but in this valley they sound very far away, like the memory of wind, not the wind itself. Everything feels held, cradled, cushioned. The hills on either side rise up into the mist, out of sight, but their presence is firm and reassuring. They feel close, like quiet guardians, their shapes hidden, but their comfort very real. The fog hides details, softens edges, blurs lines, and somehow that makes everything easier. There is nothing here that needs to be clearly seen or fully understood. Just a round, sheltered space of stillness, a gentle bowl of earth and cloud. Here, the silence is not empty. It has a texture, almost like a blanket laid over sound. Every noise that reaches this place arrives softened, slowed, made harmless. Thoughts do the same. A thought may appear, then sink into the quiet, losing its sharpness, losing its urgency. Even worries seem to come here and lie down, as if they are tired too. Notice how the air feels thicker around you, but not heavy. It rests on your skin with a cool, quiet touch. Each inhalation feels smooth and even, like drawing in calm itself. Each exhalation flows out into the fog and disappears without a trace. The valley accepts it all. Breath, warmth, the faintest movements of muscle and bone. Everything is welcomed, then gently hushed. You may sense the ground sloping just a little more, guiding you toward the deepest part of this hollow. With every slow step, the outside world feels farther away. The mind that keeps track of time, of plans, of what came before and what might come after grows quieter. Here, those things do not matter. Here, there is only a gentle descent into softness, into stillness, into ease. The fog gathers around your ankles, your legs, rising like a cool, tender tide. It wraps you in its dim, pearly light, smoothing out lines of tension, smudging away edges of effort. It is as if the valley itself is inviting every tight place in your body to loosen a little. The jaw softens, the shoulders drift down. The belly relaxes, no longer pulled tight, allowed to simply rest. In this place, even the smallest sounds feel like distant memories. Maybe a leaf falls somewhere up the slope, landing on damp earth with a quiet that almost cannot be heard. Perhaps a faint trickle of water moves over stones far away, blurred by fog, softened by distance. Each sound arrives like a slow ripple, then melts back into the thick, gentle silence. The space between sounds widens too. Moments stretch out and seem to lengthen, like long, slow breaths. Nothing urges you forward. Nothing pulls at your attention. Your awareness can spread out easily, like mist lying low over the valley floor. Thoughts may still drift in and out, but they float. They are light, they do not cling. Here, it feels safe to pause, to not decide anything, to not do anything, just to dwell inside this wide, quiet bowl of earth and air. The hills hold their place, steady and unmoving. The fog holds its place, soft and patient, and you are held as well, resting in the center of it all. You may sense how the silence begins to seep a little deeper, first into the muscles of the face and neck, smoothing out small hidden strains, then into the chest, easing the space around the heart, then even deeper into the belly, into the low, quiet weight of the body. Each slow breath in carries more calm. Each breath out releases something that no longer needs to be carried. Thoughts slow down to match the pace of this valley. They no longer rush. They stroll. They drift. One thought appears, then gently dissolves into the fog. Another rises, then spreads out so thin and soft that it is almost nothing at all. Between them are long stretches of simple, easy nothingness. Just cool air, gentle weight, quiet presence. The hills around you feel like the sides of a cradle. They rise up unseen in the thick fog, but their protection is all around. Nothing sharp, nothing loud, nothing urgent can reach this place. The valley catches it all and wraps it in layers of quiet until it no longer presses on you. Only softness remains, only the steady rhythm of breath and the slow, peaceful drift of awareness. Notice how your body feels supported here. The pull of gravity is comforting, not heavy. It anchors you. The earth beneath you feels broad and kind, as if it is willing to hold every part of you without asking anything in return. Every muscle can give a little more weight to the ground. Every part of you can lean into this safety. The air cools your skin gently, but there is a warmth growing inside. A warm, steady, settled feeling, like a small glowing ember deep in the center of your chest or belly. It does not flare or burn, it just rests, quietly, offering a sense of comfort that needs no words. The stillness around you seems to feed this warmth. The more the world outside fades, the stronger this inner ease becomes. Somewhere up the slope, another small sound might rise. Perhaps the soft brush of a branch against another. Perhaps a distant wing beat. Each time, the valley proves again that it can soften everything. The sound arrives slowly, then fades even more slowly until it is gone. The silence beneath it was always there, steady and deep. And now you can feel that same steadiness inside yourself. In this sheltered hollow, time loosens its grip. Moments do not hurry past. They drift, like the fog itself, moving so slowly you can hardly tell they are moving at all. You are not behind. You are not ahead. You are exactly where you are meant to be, in this quiet fold of land, wrapped in cloud and calm. The longer you rest here, the more the valley feels like a cocoon. Its fog is like soft fabric woven from quiet and cool air and distant hills. Its silence is like gentle hands, smoothing down any rough edges inside you. The hills curve around you like a protective shell, keeping the outer world at a safe, peaceful distance. Here, you do not need to hold yourself together. The valley does that for you. The fog does that for you. The ground beneath you does that for you. You are allowed to simply be without effort, without trying, without reaching, just breathing, just resting, just sinking slowly into the softness all around. Thoughts, if they come now, are hushed and slow. They may pass through like shapes in the mist, noticed for a moment, then blurred, then gone. Nothing clings. Nothing demands a response. Every part of you is invited to loosen its grip, to ease its hold, to settle into gentle, trusting stillness. The hills stand watch. The fog keeps its tender cloak around you. The valley floor remains steady and sure. All you need to do is rest in this quiet cradle of earth and cloud, letting the silence fill the space inside you, smoothing your thoughts, softening your body, slowing everything down. Safe in this low, quiet place, held by the unseen slopes and the soft, embracing fog, you can allow yourself to drift, a little deeper into ease, a little deeper into quiet, a little deeper into the hush that waits beneath every sound, and then deeper still into the soft, silent heart of rest. The fog around you is still and quiet, soft, faintly cool against the skin. Everything feels hushed and slow, as if the world is wrapped in a gentle blanket of cloud. Somewhere within this quiet, a change begins. It is not sudden, not bright or sharp, only the faintest hint of light, arriving the way a soft breath arrives, almost unnoticed at first. The mist that once felt dim now starts to glow from within, as though behind the fog, behind that sheer, drifting curtain, a tender lantern has been lifted. Not a harsh sun, not a glaring sky, just a warm presence, waiting patiently, offering light with no demand. Shapes do not spring into focus. They stay soft, rounded, and kind. Edges blur, and that is all right. The light does not ask anything of you. It simply spreads very slowly, very gently through the drifting haze. The air around you becomes a soft silver with threads of pale gold woven through. Tiny droplets hang suspended all around, quiet and weightless. As the light deepens, each tiny drop begins to catch it, holding a small shimmer. A glint here, a glow there, like countless little stars that forgot to be sharp and chose to be soft instead. The ground beneath you feels steady and calm, supported. You do not need to move. You do not need to search for anything. The light finds its own path through the mist, just as ease finds its way through the body. Notice how the brightness never rushes. It does not flood. It seeps in slowly, like warmth soaking into cool water, blending, smoothing, softening. Where the fog was once flat and pale, it now deepens into gentle shades of pearl, silver, and warm cream. Here, you can sense beams of light, not as lines, but as tender streams. They slide through the haze and fan out around you, each one softened, each one wrapped in mist, each one transformed from sharp brightness into something quiet and kind. It is as if the fog itself has learned how to glow. In this place, with this soft light, breathing becomes slower without any effort. Each breath drifts out, and the body seems to follow, unwinding a little more with every gentle exhale. On the in-breath, the light around you feels closer. On the out-breath, the weight you do not need can dissolve into the haze. Imagine the glow settling over your shoulders. Nothing heavy, just a thin warmth, like a sunlit shawl made of air. Muscles that may have been holding on quietly begin to loosen. The neck softens. The jaw relaxes. The space around the eyes smooths and melts. All the while, the fog remains. Nothing becomes harsh or clear. The world is still softened at the edges, still quiet, still slow. Only now the mist is no longer empty. It is filled with a gentle, living light, like a calm tide of brightness washing through a peaceful sea of cloud. Feel how the light moves, almost imperceptibly, across the landscape of your body. It may start at the crown of the head, like a faint halo of warmth. Then it drifts down, across the forehead, across the temples, smoothing away little creases of thought. It passes quietly over the cheeks, past the corners of the mouth, leaving a soft, neutral ease. Down through the throat, that tender passage where words and breaths live. Here, the light pauses, as if to reassure this delicate space. Any tightness here can loosen just a bit. The throat feels wide and open, with cool mist and warm glow sharing the same gentle air. From there, the glow eases into the chest. The quiet beams that slip through the fog seem to gather here. They rest on the rise and fall of each breath. With every inhale, the chest receives a little more warmth. With every exhale, it releases a little more of what it no longer needs to carry. The space behind the heart softens, as if the silver fog has drifted inside, cushioning it in softness. No pressure, no expectation, only warmth and room and a deep, patient calm. Now the light drifts lower along the back. Imagine it like a gentle hand smoothing down either side of the spine. Each vertebra relaxed, each small muscle along the back allowed to let go. The misty glow seeps into tired places, corners that have been working all day, and reminds them they can rest. Across the shoulders, the light lingers. Here, it may feel like a quiet sunrise, spreading slowly, steadily, without hurry. Any weight that seems to live there grows softer, lighter, like fog lifting from a hillside as the morning brightens. What once felt held can now drift, loosen, fade into the glowing haze. The warmth moves down through the arms, upper arms, forearms, wrists, hands, and fingers. Everything easy, everything softened by this gentle brightness, as if the light has turned each tiny droplet in the air into a cushion and you are being quietly held. The glow pools at the center of the belly. It is mild and friendly, a steady golden silver comfort. Each breath massages this glow, and the muscles of the abdomen uncoil. Any unsettled feeling there can float into the soft mist, where it blurs and dissolves, like shapes disappearing into cloud. Down through the hips, the light spreads further. It finds the joints, the places that hold you upright, and invites a deeper rest. Hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet all bathe in the same soft, diffused light. Every part of you belongs here, in this gentle brightness, wrapped in fog, supported and at ease. As you rest in this glowing mist, notice how quiet everything is. Not silent in an empty way, silent in a full, content way. The kind of quiet that comes when nothing needs to happen, when all is already enough. The beams continue to filter through the haze, but they never rush, never sharpen. Their only work is to glow, to soften, to comfort. They turn the fog into a shelter of light, a floating room of silver and gold. Inside this room, time feels slow. The body feels heavy and light at the same time, like a cloud resting on a gentle breeze. Thoughts may pass through, like distant shapes behind the mist. They appear for a moment, then fade as the haze thickens and the glow surrounds them. There is nothing to chase, nothing to hold. The mind, like the landscape, can stay soft and unfocused, bathed in this kind diffused light. Every now and then, become aware again of the tiny droplets all around, suspended in the air, each one catching a piece of the light, a small shimmer, a tiny gleam. Together, they create a tender sparkle, not dazzling, just quietly alive. A slow, rhythmic twinkling that seems to match the gentle rhythm of your breath. In this moment, the warmth of the hidden sun and the coolness of the fog are perfectly balanced. Not too warm, not too cool. Just right for resting, just right for sinking deeper into stillness, deeper into comfort. The glow settles even more now, as if it has found its home in you. The mist outside and the soft brightness within blend together. Body and space feel like the same calm field of silver gold haze. No hard lines, no sharp borders. Only ease, only softness, only a quiet, radiant peace. Breath by breath, you can allow yourself to drift further into this softness, held by the fog, warmed by the gentle light behind it. Nothing urgent, nothing required, only this slow, hushed, shimmering calm, spreading and settling, until everything is very still, very soft, and deeply, quietly at rest. The air is cool and quiet now, soft. Dimension. A gentle world of grey and silver where edges blur and thoughts begin to loosen. You find yourself on a slow, rolling hillside. The ground slides gently upward, not steep, not hard. Just an easy rise beneath your feet, leading to a place that feels calm and still. Fog hangs low over the land, drifting in pale, quiet sheets. Everything feels softened, like the day has lowered its voice. Ahead, a single tree waits, tall, steady, its trunk dark against the pale mist, its branches reaching up and out, then disappearing into the drifting fog above. You don't need to see every leaf or every twig. You only feel that it is there, strong and unmoving, like a quiet guardian on the hill. With each step toward the tree, your body slows a little more. Breath eases. The air was cool against your skin, carrying the faint, clean scent of damp earth and grass. The world around you is hushed, wrapped in a soft blanket of sound. No rush, nothing to do but arrive. As you come close, the ground feels slightly springy underfoot. Grass, damp with fog, bends gently and rises again. You can almost feel the tiny drops of moisture on each blade, cool and fresh. The tree's trunk stands just before you now, patient and still, as if it has been here a long, long time. You reach out, slow and easy, and touch the bark. It is rough beneath your fingers, solid and textured. Ridges and grooves run beneath your hand, old and sure. This tree has weathered seasons and storms, yet here it stands, calm in the mist, unhurried and unshaken. You move closer and lean your back against the trunk. The bark presses gently against you, firm and unyielding, yet somehow comforting in its strength. Your shoulders rest there. Your spine finds a natural curve along its surface, supported, held, safe. Take a slower breath now. Let the air come in a little deeper, cool as it enters, a touch warmer as it leaves. Breathing in, you meet the quiet of the hillside. Breathing out, you let a layer of tension melt away, as if the fog is carrying it off, bit by bit, into the silence. Gradually, you begin to lower yourself down to the ground. The tree holds your weight as you slide, inch by inch, until you are seated, back still resting against the trunk. The grass welcomes you, soft and a little wet, but gentle. You feel the coolness seep through clothing, through layers, reaching your skin in a way that feels soothing and grounding. The earth beneath is steady and broad. Your body settles heavier with each exhale. Hips and legs sink into the hillside. Feet relax, toes letting go of any small tension they were still holding. The curve of the hill supports you easily, cradling your weight without effort. The fog moves slowly around you, like a quiet, drifting river made of air. You can almost sense its flow, sliding between tree branches above, curling around your arms, your knees, your hands resting gently in your lap or at your sides. It does not rush or push. It simply glides, soft and patient, as if time itself has slowed to match your breathing. Above you, branches stretch out into the mist. You cannot see where they end. They fade into softness, into pale grey, a world where lines dissolve and only comfort remains. The unseen leaves rustle very faintly, a tiny whisper high overhead, barely there, like a faraway lullaby. The tree behind you is quiet, but full of presence. You feel its strength without having to think about it. The way it rises from the earth, sunk deep into the hillside, its roots spreading wide and far. That sense of deep anchoring begins to seep into you as well. Without trying, you start to feel more anchored too. Each breath moves more slowly now. You might notice the gentle expansion of your chest, then the soft release, the subtle rise and fall of your belly. Inhale. A wave of calm comes in. Exhale. Your shoulders slide down a little more. Your jaw loosens a little more. The muscles around your eyes soften. Leaning into the trunk, you feel every small contact point. The firmness along your spine. The way the bark catches the fabric at your back in a few places. This tree isn't trying to be comfortable or soft, yet its solidness offers exactly the comfort you need. It holds you without moving, without asking, simply by being what it is. The grass under you grows more familiar with each passing moment. Coolness along the backs of your legs. A touch of damp against your hands if they rest on the ground. Tiny stems and blades press gently into your palms, reminding you that you are here, in this one quiet place, at this one quiet time. Around you the fog thickens, then thins, then thickens again. Sometimes it seems to wrap more closely around the tree, hugging the trunk, brushing your shoulders. Other times it drifts slightly away, opening a pale window to the hillside below. Always moving, but always slow. Unhurried, like a long, soft breath, drawn out over many moments. In this softened world, sounds feel muted and far away. The smallest noises become gentle companions rather than distractions. Perhaps a distant bird call, blurred by the mist, or the faint rustle of grass as the air moves. Each sound rises and falls, then disappears back into the hush. Your body begins to answer the stillness. The need to hold yourself up eases because the tree is doing that for you now. Your back can rest with its full weight. Neck and shoulders can surrender to the support behind them. Arms drift into a natural, relaxed position, as if they have nothing at all to carry. Thoughts, too, start to slow. Instead of streams of words, there are softer shapes, softer feelings. If a thought comes, it moves through, like a wisp of fog across the hillside. It arrives hangs lightly for a moment, and then drifts away again, leaving behind more space, more quiet, more room to breathe. The tree feels timeless. It has seen days and nights, bright skies and low clouds, storms and sunlight, and it has stayed right here. This same hillside, this same steady place. That deep, constant presence begins to feel like it belongs to you as well. A calm knowing that right now you are held and you are safe. With every breath, you rest a little deeper into that safety. Muscles that once felt tight begin to spread out, to soften, as though they are sinking into the earth itself. The ground meets you with gentle firmness, never changing, always here. Nothing is asked of you in this moment. You are free to simply lean and breathe and feel. The fog wraps the tree, wraps the hill, and gently wraps you in its cool, quiet arms. It softens the horizon, blurs the distance, until the only thing that matters is this small circle of comfort where you rest. Back against bark, body on grass, breath in the misty air. A lullaby seems to hum in the background of the world. Not in words, not in melody, but in the rhythm of your breathing, in the sway of the fog, in the slow, unseen movement of branches above you. Everything moves in the same gentle tempo now. Slow, easy, untroubled. If you notice any place in your body that still feels awake, you can imagine the tree lending its strength and calm, like a strong, steady hand at your back, saying without words, "I am here." You can rest now. You do not have to hold everything on your own. The more you allow that thought, the deeper your weight sinks into the hillside. Your body knows what to do. It knows how to relax, how to release, how to drift. You just follow the ease that is already there, like stepping into a river that carries you gently along. Now the boundary between you and the tree begins to soften. Its strength feels like your strength. Its stillness feels like your stillness. The slow movement of fog becomes the slow movement of your breath. Everything in and around you settles into the same quiet, soothing rhythm. The hillside grows softer beneath you. The air grows gentler around you. Thoughts grow fainter, lighter, further away. You do not need to reach for anything. You do not need to move. You are already exactly where you need to be, back resting against rough, steady bark, body held by the cool, damp grass, fog drifting like a tender, pale river all around, breath floating in and out, easy and slow, like a small boat on calm water. Now you can simply stay here, safe beneath the quiet branches that disappear into mist, grounded by the earth, softened by the fog, cradled in the gentle stillness of this hillside, drifting deeper into rest, closer and closer to peaceful, quiet sleep. The air is quiet and soft around you now, as if the whole landscape is holding its breath in a gentle, peaceful way. Everything feels slow here, and kind, and unhurried. You are resting inside a wide, still calm, with nothing to push against, nothing to chase, just an easy sense of being, cradled by the quiet. Ahead, the land rises and falls in slow, rolling shapes. Hills stretch out before you, one after another, like waves that have stopped in mid-motion. Their edges are softened by the mist, smoothed and blurred, so that nothing feels sharp or rigid. Each curve of the land seems to melt into the next, with no clear beginning and no clear end. The closest hill rests quietly in front of you, gentle and steady. You can almost feel its calm weight, the way it supports the earth beneath it. Its outline is still somewhat clear, though the fog has brushed along its sides, softening its lines. You sense that if you walked along its slope, each step would be slow and easy, cushioned by the softness in the air. Beyond it, another hill rises, just a little paler, a little quieter. It appears as a soft shadow, resting behind the first, its shape muted by the drifting fog. Then another hill, and another, each one lighter, each one slightly more distant. They layer gently into the mist, like quiet echoes fading away in the stillness. As your awareness moves across these rolling shapes, you notice how distance begins to lose its meaning. The farther hills are not separate things, not really. They blend with the air around them, their edges washed in a silvery, velvety haze. Hills, fog, and sky begin to share the same soft tone, the same gentle, muted color of calm. The fog drifts slowly between the slopes, slipping along valleys and over ridges. It moves like a slow breath, spreading and thinning, then gathering again in pale, quiet folds. Nothing about it is sudden or sharp. The mist takes its time, gliding along the curves of the land, smoothing everything it touches. You may notice how your mind follows the same rhythm. Thoughts that felt close and detailed a moment ago now seem softer at the edges. They drift a little farther away, like distant hills fading into the haze. There is nothing to hold on to tightly here, nothing that demands your attention. Each hill that rises in the distance looks less defined than the last. Their outlines melt gently into each other, stacking like layers of soft shadow. The farther you gaze, the more the details dissolve, until you are looking not at separate shapes, but at one continuous sweep of quiet land. It is as though the horizon itself is not a line, but a long, slow exhale into the mist. The sky above shares the same gentle tone, neither bright nor dark. It leans down toward the hills, meeting them in a tender, seamless way. It becomes hard to tell where the hills end and the sky begins. Everything leans into everything else, relaxed and open. As fog thickens in places, one hill might almost disappear, then reappear as the mist thins again. The land plays a soft, unhurried game of hiding and revealing. A curve of slope shows itself, then folds back into the whiteness. Nothing is lost. Nothing is truly gone. It is all still there, just resting inside the fog. Notice how comforting that is. Shapes may blur and fade, but they do not need to stay fixed or clear to be real. They are allowed to soften, to change, to disappear into something larger and more embracing. In the same way, your own edges can soften a little here, allowed to be less defined, less separate. Imagine the way the cool, damp air wraps around each hill. It holds to every curve and hollow, yet it does not cling tightly. It simply settles and floats, offering a quiet cover, a gentle veil. Hills and fog lean into each other until they are almost the same softness, the same quiet presence. Now the idea of distance begins to fade even more. What seemed far away is now simply part of the same wide field of calm. The closest hill, the middle hills, the faint farthest hills, they all share one smooth, unbroken breadth of landscape. Everything belongs to the same slow, quiet rising and falling of the earth. Your awareness can glide over these curves like a feather drifting on slow air. It rests for a moment on the near hill, feeling its gentle steadiness. Then it drifts outward, carried by the fog, to touch the softer hills behind it. Each movement is unhurried, easy, and circular, never needing to stop anywhere in particular. With each gentle sweep of attention, the sense of separation eases. Lines between one hill and another blur just a bit more. Lines between land and sky soften too, becoming almost imaginary. What you are noticing now is not parts, but the way everything joins into a single, quiet whole. The fog moves like a shared blanket over this whole scene. It covers all the hills at once, without choosing one to favor. Every shape, every curve is held in the same soft, even way. It feels like a deep, steady kindness spread out wide across the land. As you rest with this, your own sense of here and there becomes less important. The idea of being over here, looking out over there, starts to melt a little. You and the scene are just sharing the same soft air, the same slow breath. It is almost as if you are looking out at a reflection of your own calm, spread over the hills. In this space, your body may feel a little heavier, yet also lighter at the same time. Heavier where it rests, gently supported as the land supports the hills. Lighter where tension slips away, like fog lifting from a slope and drifting off into the air. Each exhale may feel like a soft release into this wide, open quiet. Now, far off where the hills meet the sky, detail is almost completely gone. There is only a gentle blending of tone and shade, a horizon that has forgotten how to be a line. It is just a soft meeting place where earth and air lean into each other. This place feels endless, but not in a big or overwhelming way, just in a simple, easy, natural way. You might sense deep down that you belong to that same softness, not as something separate, standing outside it, but as part of the same wide calm. The same quiet that rests over the distant hills also rests within you. The same ease that smooths their edges is gently smoothing yours. Here, difference does not need to disappear. It just does not need to stand apart so strongly. Hills remain hills, sky remains sky, fog remains fog, and yet they touch and blend and share themselves freely. Everything keeps its gentle shape while relaxing into oneness. Your thoughts can do the same. They may come and go like small hills, rising and falling in the distance. They can appear for a moment, then soften, then drift back into the larger mist of quiet awareness. No thought needs to be pushed away. It can simply fade at the edges until it rests in the same calm. You are resting now inside a wide, spacious stillness. Nothing presses in. Nothing pulls you away. There is room for every feeling, every breath, every small movement of the mind. All of it floats in the same gentle, open sky of calm. The hills continue to lie there, peaceful and untroubled. Fog continues to drift slowly, without hurry, without destination. The horizon continues to soften, melting into a long, tender blur. Everything holds you quietly, like a soft, steady hand on your shoulder. In this softness, time itself seems to stretch and relax. Moments do not rush past. They simply unfold, one easy breath after another. You are free to stay as long as you wish, resting in this wide, comforting openness. Just letting the edges fade, letting the mind grow quiet and spacious. All around, the rolling land and the gentle fog and the silent sky are joined in one deep, peaceful hush. They share the same quiet heart, the same slow, soothing stillness. You are resting in that same stillness now, held within it and part of it, as the distant hills fade softly into endless, tender calm. The hills are quiet now. The air is soft and cool. Everything has slowed to a gentle hush, as if the whole landscape is breathing in a long, easy sigh. Above the rolling curves of the earth, the sky feels closer than before. Clouds hang low, drifting slowly, quietly, in no hurry at all. They mingle with the fog that rests across the hills, so that sky and land seem to blur into one soft, floating world. The edges of the hills grow faint and dreamy. Clouds slide lazily over each ridgeline, pouring over the slopes like a silent, pale tide. Nothing is rushed. Each movement is slow, like the rise and fall of a calm breath. Notice how the clouds move. They do not push or force their way forward. They simply glide, carried by currents of air that are almost too gentle to feel. One cloud drifts past another, melting, joining, parting again, all in a silent, peaceful dance. It feels as though the sky has come down to meet the earth. The distance above has disappeared. The clouds are no longer far away overhead. They are close now, wrapped around the hills, wrapped softly around you. Imagine standing within this low, drifting sky. The world below is quiet and blurred, softened by mist. The world above has lowered itself, folding around you, holding you in a light, cool embrace. For a moment, there is no up or down, only a gentle floating in between. The air here is moist and calm against the skin. Each breath feels slower, longer, easier. You breathe in the softness of the fog and breathe out any tightness or strain. With every slow exhale, something inside you lets go, just a little more. Clouds slide past your quiet awareness, like thoughts drifting across a wide, empty sky. They appear, they pass, they fade away. There is nothing you need to hold on to, nothing to follow, nothing to chase. The hills beneath the clouds are steady and patient. They do not move. They simply receive the slow washing of the sky again and again. Each cloud that rolls over them is like a calm, quiet wave, smoothing and softening everything it touches. Feel that same slow washing inside yourself. A gentle, cloud-like tide moving through the mind. With each slow breath, a new wave of softness arrives. With each slow breath out, some old weight begins to lift. You might sense the faintest movement of the air around you. Not a wind, not a breeze, just a quiet, steady shifting, like the smallest tide rising and falling. This movement carries the clouds forward and carries you into deeper ease. You do not have to do anything. You are simply being carried. Notice how the body begins to feel lighter in this clouded space. Heavy places start to loosen. Tight places begin to soften, as if they are being wrapped in warm, gentle fog. The weight of the day starts to dissolve into the drifting sky. Thoughts that felt dense or crowded grow softer at the edges. They blur like distant hills behind a veil of mist. They lose their sharpness, their urgency, their pull. They become like those slow, pale clouds, barely there at all, just passing through. As you rest here, it may feel as though you are floating within the clouds themselves, held in a quiet, endless softness, supported from every side by the low, gentle sky, safe, unhurried, completely at ease. The movement of the air is so subtle that it is almost like stillness. Yet, beneath that stillness, everything is slowly shifting and settling. Clouds change shape, drift onward, give way to new clouds that follow behind. In the same way, each moment arrives, lingers for a breath, then slips peacefully away. Let the rhythm of this drifting carry you, the slow approach of a cloud, the easy passing over the hill, the soft fading as it moves on. Again and again, like a calm, repeating lullaby made of air and quiet light. Your breath falls into the same rhythm. In, a gentle arrival. Out, a gentle release. In, the soft tide rising. Out, the soft tide falling. Always calm, always unforced. Feel how each exhale lightens you. As though with every slow breath out, a small invisible bundle of worry is lifted up and placed on a passing cloud. The cloud carries it away without effort, without sound, without any need for you to look back. It just drifts and disappears into the wide, forgiving sky. The body can grow heavier and lighter at the same time. Heavier where it rests, sinking more deeply into comfort. Lighter in the mind and in the heart, as burdens float away on the slow movement of air. There is a deep sweetness in this gentle contradiction. Grounded, yet floating. Held, yet carried. Time here feels slower, stretched out like the long, level line of a distant ridge. Moments lengthen and soften. Each second is like a single cloud, moving so gradually that it almost seems still. You rest inside this soft, unhurried flow, with nothing to fix, nothing to change. In this quiet, clouded world, you are cradled by the meeting of sky and earth. The hills hold you from below. The low, drifting clouds hold you from all around. You are surrounded by gentleness, as if the entire landscape has leaned closer to comfort you. Breath by breath, the fog of the mind thickens in the best possible way. Not confusion, but a soft, protective veil. Sharp edges blur. Sounds, memories and thoughts seem to move farther away, as though fading into a distant, misty valley. All that remains clear is this feeling of being carried on slow, quiet air. Nothing pressing, nothing urgent, only the steady, tender drift that rocks you toward deeper and deeper rest. If any small thought rises, it can be placed on a tiny, pale cloud. Watch it float. It does not cling. It does not resist. It just moves on, shrinking, softening, until it is lost in the gentle brightness of the sky. The body relaxes more deeply now, like a hill disappearing under a blanket of fog. Muscles release their hold. The face softens. The breath continues its slow, soothing rhythm, like a tide that will never rush or break. All around, clouds continue their quiet journey over the rolling land. They do not know where they began. They do not know where they will end. They simply drift, and in their drifting, everything is calm. Settle into this sense of being moved without effort, of being held without needing to hold back. The mind grows quiet, lulled by the constant, gentle motion of the sky that has come down to meet you. Now, the words themselves can grow lighter and softer, like clouds thinning into evening air. Sound fades into the same quiet space where thoughts dissolve and sleep begins to rise. Nothing to do, nothing to follow, only the slow, tender drift of clouds and fog, carrying you ever more softly into deep, peaceful rest. Evening settles slowly over the hills, as if the whole world is taking a deep, quiet breath. The last colours of day soften and fade, and the light begins to dim in a gentle, unhurried way. Mist hangs low over the fields, pale and soft, blurring the edges of everything it touches. Shapes that were clear a moment ago grow gentle and vague, as if the land itself is closing its eyes. Above, the sky shifts almost without being noticed. The pale grey of late afternoon gives way to a deeper, calmer shade, a quiet, dusky blue, spreading from horizon to horizon. The change is slow, easy, natural, like the way a thought drifts away when it is no longer needed. Nothing is rushed here. Everything knows how to take its time. The mist curls and loosens over the grass, rolling in soft waves across the fields. It gathers in the dips and folds of the land, then rises again in thin drifting veils. The hills seem to breathe under it, lifting and sinking in steady, peaceful rhythm. Each small hollow, each gentle slope is wrapped in a cool, tender hush. The air feels different now, cooler along the skin. The warmth of the day has thinned and slipped away, leaving a quiet, soothing freshness. When you breathe in, there is a sense of clarity, a sense of space. When you breathe out, the body understands that it is allowed to soften. The sky deepens as evening gathers. That soft grey blue becomes richer, more velvety, like distant water in the fading light. High above, the first faint stars begin to stir. At first, they are barely there, only whispers of light behind the drifting veil of mist. Then, slowly, they sharpen into focus, small and patient and steady. Each star appears as if it is taking its own time to arrive. One, then another. A tiny cluster near the edge of a cloud of haze. A single bright point, hanging alone above a distant hill. They do not try to dazzle. They simply exist, quiet and constant, far away and comforting. The land responds to the approach of night. Sounds grow softer, more spaced out. Faint calls in the distance, a soft rustle in the grass, then long stretches of deep, restful silence. Even the silence feels full and kind, like a blanket being gently drawn up around everything that lives here. The fog over the fields seems to thicken as the light fades. It glows faintly in the last traces of sky glow, then slowly dims, as if the mist itself is drifting into sleep. Lines become curves, corners become shadows, and everything takes on a rounded, softened form. The land no longer feels like a place of doing. It feels like a place of resting. Somewhere far away, the last thoughts of the day are like distant lights on the horizon. They are not pressing, not important, just tiny flickers that slowly grow dimmer with each breath. The mind does not need to hold them anymore. Like mist lifting from a field, they rise and vanish into the deepening blue. Notice how the body responds to this quiet evening. Muscles that had been busy and alert now begin to release, one by one, without effort. The jaw loosens a little. The shoulders settle a bit lower. The hands rest more heavily, as if they have decided that there is nothing left they need to do. With each slow breath in, Imagine drawing in the cool calm of this twilight air. With each long breath out, imagine the land exhaling beneath the mist. Your own breathing and the breathing of the hills begin to feel connected, moving together in easy, natural rhythm. In this soft, shared breath, there is nothing to chase and nothing to resist. The deepening sky holds everything with quiet patience. Stars gently multiply, scattered like tiny seeds of light across the darkening blue. They shimmer softly behind the thin curtain of fog, their light arriving softened, blurred, and kind. The darkness here is not heavy. It is welcoming, like a vast, quiet room waiting with open arms. In this tender dimness, shapes are simple and non-threatening. The far hills are dark humps against the sky. The nearer fields are just stretches of shadow and pale mist, laid out like smooth folded cloth. Nothing sharp, nothing demanding, only curves and softness, and steady, peaceful quiet. Thoughts begin to move more slowly now. They drift the way the fog drifts over the grass, appearing, softening, then disappearing again. There is no need to follow them. They can come and go in their own time, like the slow passing of a cloud across the face of a gentle moon that has not yet risen. The land feels as if it is letting go of the day. All the bright details, all the clear edges, all the busy movements of light and shadow have done what they needed to do. Now they slip away into this gentle twilight, like a story that has reached its quiet ending. What remains is simple presence. Just the hills, the fog, the sky, and the slow, steady rhythm of rest. This twilight is an invitation to close inward, to soften, to release. Just as the fields accept the mist, the body can accept this softness. Just as the hills sink into shadow, the mind can sink into stillness. Nothing is being taken away. Only the extra weight of the day is being set down. The cool air strokes the surface of the fields, gliding over the mist like a gentle hand. It carries a hint of earth, a faint memory of grass warmed by the vanished sun, now cooling in the open night. Each breath taken here feels like a quiet agreement with rest, a simple, wordless yes to slowing down. Above, the stars grow clearer as the last traces of daylight fade. They are not loud or bright, only present, patient, old. Each one a tiny promise that the night is safe, that the world knows how to turn toward darkness and return again to light. Held under this wide, darkening sky, it becomes easier to trust the natural rhythm of easing and release. The mist in the hollows thickens a little more, like a soft pillow for the land. It gathers along fence lines and tree roots, pooling at the base of every gentle dip. Everything low and quiet is wrapped in it. Everything is given permission to disappear from sight for a while, to rest unseen, untouched, undisturbed. In this growing darkness, The eyes no longer need to search. They can soften, grow heavy, and slowly close. Without the demand to look and notice, the mind follows, turning gently inward. Awareness narrows to the feeling of breath, the quiet weight of the body, the sense of being held by something larger, something steady and serene. Here, at the edge of night, even time feels slower. Moments stretch a little longer, like the slow unfurling of a sigh. The future does not press forward. The past does not pull. Everything gathers into this one soft, lingering now. The land has exhaled the last of its daylight. The fields lie still under their blanket of fog. The hills rest in their simple, dark shapes. The sky, a deep and endless blue, holds a gentle scattering of stars. All around, and deep within, a quiet urge to rest rises, gentle and kind. Let that quiet urge move through you like cool air through the mist. Let the body grow heavier, like the fields settling under night. Let the mind grow dimmer, like the sky surrendering the last pale light of day. Nothing needs to be fixed. Nothing needs to be changed. Only this slow, easy sinking into comfort. In this soft twilight, with mist over the fields and stars above the hills, everything is ready for sleep. The land has already begun to dream. You are part of this same landscape of rest, this same deep, breathing quiet, drifting now, gently, into the safe, tender darkness that waits, patient and calm, all around and within. Night has become deep and quiet now. The air is cool and still, and everything feels slower, softer, and far away from the busy day. Breath moves in and out, easy and unhurried, as if the whole world is breathing with you at the same gentle pace. Above the rolling hills, a pale moon rises and settles into its place. Its light is soft and silver, not bright or sharp, but calm and steady. It hangs in the sky like a quiet promise that nothing needs to be done and nothing needs to be fixed. Only this slow, quiet moment exists. The hills stretch out like gentle waves, one folding into the next. They are wrapped in a low, drifting fog that clings to the ground and moves in slow, silent swirls. The mist softens every edge, smooths every line, until the whole landscape feels rounded and safe, like a blanket spread over the earth. Moonlight falls through the fog in soft, pale streams. It does not rush. It glides down, touches the mist, and lingers. Every patch of fog it meets turns a little lighter, a little more silver, as if the night itself is glowing from within. Tiny droplets of moisture hang in the air, almost weightless. Each one catches a thread of moonlight and holds it for a moment. All across the hills, the mist begins to shimmer very faintly, like a quiet sea of light, barely moving, breathing with the night. The ground beneath the fog is hidden and safe, Soft shapes of grass and earth lie covered, resting under the gentle veil. Nothing is exposed. Nothing is harsh. The world has tucked itself in, and the moon is watching over it all. Here, sounds are slow and muted. A faraway rustle, perhaps a leaf turning in the night air, fades almost before it is heard. Even the breeze moves carefully, slipping through the fog in long, smooth currents, not disturbing, only guiding, only easing the mist from one place to another. The sky above is a deep, quiet blue, almost black at the edges. Through the drifting layers of fog and cloud, small, steady stars begin to appear. They do not flash or shout. They simply shine, patient and calm, tiny points of soft light far above the sleeping hills. Sometimes the fog thins for a breath, and more stars show through. Sometimes it thickens again, and only one or two remain, gently pulsing in the dimness. This slow revealing and hiding feels like the sky itself is breathing, opening and closing, never in a hurry. The moon rests just above the fog, its round shape slightly blurred at the edges by the drifting mist. Its reflection is held in every shining droplet so that the light does not come from only one place in the sky, but from everywhere at once. The fog becomes a floating, luminous sea, soft and silver and endlessly slow. In this stillness, time loosens its hold. Minutes do not matter here. Only the feeling of being suspended in a soft moonlit night remains. The body can become as quiet as the hills, as gently covered as the fields beneath the fog. With each easy breath, the sense of weight begins to soften. Shoulders sink a little deeper. The muscles of the face let go. The chest rises and falls in a slow, even rhythm that matches the drifting mist, moving, settling, moving again. It is easy now to imagine floating just above the hills, held by the same quiet that holds the fog. The ground is far below, safe and steady, but the body feels light, as if it could drift on the moonlit air. Nothing pulls, nothing pushes. There is only this slow, supported gliding. The fog curls around this floating presence like a soft, cool blanket. Where it touches, any last bits of tightness melt and slide away. Breath moves through the body, the way the breeze moves through the mist, gently clearing, gently soothing, never forcing, always kind. Above, the stars watch with calm, unblinking eyes. One star seems to pulse in time with the breath, glowing just a little brighter on the in-breath, softening on the out-breath. Another appears farther away, a small, steady glow that feels like a quiet friend, always there, always at ease. The moon glides slowly across the sky, but from here it feels almost still. Its light spreads out over the fog, smoothing every shadow. Even the darkness between the hills has a softness to it, like velvet, like a place where worries cannot follow. Thoughts that once felt sharp or loud now drift like tiny shapes in the mist. They appear, And then, touched by the moonlight, they fade and thin and slide away. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing that needs to be followed. Only the soft movement of breath and the gentle glow of night. The rolling hills rise and fall beneath the fog like a slow, sleeping ocean. Every curve of the land supports the mist the way a calm sea supports a boat. Here, you are that boat, weightless and safe, rocking so faintly you almost cannot feel it, and yet deeply, completely held. Far away, a star seems to drift toward the edge of the fog, its light threading softly through the thin veil. It does not pierce or cut, it only warms, a quiet reminder that even in the deepest night, kindness and calm are all around. The air carries a cool, clean scent, like damp earth and fresh grass resting under the mist. With each breath, that freshness moves in, and with each exhale, any heaviness flows out and sinks down into the soft ground, where the hills can hold it and let it dissolve. Around everything, silence deepens. Not an empty silence, but a rich, comforting one, like being wrapped in layers of soft fabric. In this silence, the mind does not need to search or prepare. It can simply rest, the way the fields rest, the way the sky rests between the stars. The moon continues to pour down its calm, silvery light, patient and unending. Fog thickens and thins, shapes appearing and fading, but always gently, always slowly. Nothing here is sudden. Nothing here is sharp. In this moment, the border between waking and dreaming feels very thin. Thoughts become softer, like whispers that trail off before they finish. Images drift through the mind like patches of fog over the hills, forming and dissolving without effort. The body is warm and settled now, heavier where it meets what supports it, lighter in the chest and limbs, as if part of it has already risen to float in that quiet sky. Breath is slow, and the pause at the end of each exhale stretches just a little longer, just a little more peaceful. Moon, fog, hills, stars, all of them blend together into one soft silver stillness. Held in that stillness, it is natural to let go a little more, and then a little more, until even the act of letting go is gone, and only calm remains. Here, in this gentle, moonlit night, the world asks nothing at all. It only offers this soft glow, this slow drifting mist, this safe, quiet space where everything can rest, and rest, and rest. The night is quiet around you now, soft, unfolded. Everything has slowed to a gentle hush. The air is cool and mild. Fog moves in the darkness like a quiet breath, drifting low across the hills. It wraps around the land in a soft, silver blanket, blurring every edge, softening every line. Nothing is sharp here. Nothing asks for effort. Feel the way your body rests in this moment, supported, held. The ground beneath you is steady and calm, like an old friend who has been waiting a very long time. You do not need to hold yourself up. You are already being held. With each slow breath, attention can spread wider, out across the gentle slopes, out into the hush of the night. The hills rise and fall in easy curves, like a slow, sleeping breath across the land, up and down, up and down. Notice how still it all is. The fog lying heavier now, closer to the earth. It settles into the hollows and gathers along the folds of the hills, soft and thick. As it settles, the world grows quieter still, like a room where someone has turned down the last remaining light. The body can soften in the same way, muscles loosening like soil after a soft rain. Thoughts loosening too, drifting to the edges of awareness, then dissolving into the mist. Nothing urgent, nothing to decide, nothing that cannot wait until morning. Imagine the shape of your body slowly blending with the shape of the land, the back resting like a small, gentle slope. The arms and legs stretching out like easy ridgelines, unhurried, unstrained. Where your body meets the surface beneath, the boundary grows softer, less clear. It is as if you are sinking slightly into the earth's quiet embrace. The hills gather around you, curving in close, not as walls, but as wide, soft arms. They draw everything inward. They draw everything close. Here, between these rounded shapes, you are sheltered, protected by peace itself. Feel the weight of the fog as it thickens, not heavy in a troubling way, but heavy like a warm blanket across your shoulders. It mutes the world, one sound at a time. Faraway noises grow dull and faint, like memories from a dream long past. What remains is only this breath, this stillness, this easy rest. The sky above is hidden by the soft white veil. No bright points, no clear lines, just a quiet, colourless roof of mist. Underneath it, the hills and your resting body share the same slow rhythm. You and the land breathe together. With each exhale, let a little more of yourself melt into the ground. The feet grow heavy and warm. They sink into the earth like stones into a clear pond. The legs follow, long and relaxed, no need to hold or brace. They simply rest in place, cradled by the surface beneath. The hips and lower back soften next. Any tightness there can loosen like fog, lifting from a field. It rises, fades, and disappears into the wider night. There is nothing to carry now. No weight, no task, no plan. The chest moves in a slow, steady tide, rising with the in-breath, falling with the out-breath. Each breath feels a little deeper, a little easier, as though the lungs are taking in the quiet itself. Breathing in stillness, breathing out release. Feel the arms grow quiet and distant, like branches resting after a long summer. Hands soften, fingers relaxed, no longer reaching for anything. They are simply here, part of this broad, peaceful landscape, as quiet as stones, gently warmed by the day and cooled by the night. The neck, the throat, the jaw, all of them can soften too, the tongue resting easy, the teeth parting just enough for calm air to move in and out without effort. The face smooths, the space around the eyes soft and calm. The forehead widens like the open sky behind the mist. Awareness begins to float now, like a small leaf carried on a slow, gentle stream. It does not need to choose a direction. It does not need to stay in one place. It can drift between the feeling of the body, the memory of the hills, the touch of the fog in the air, moving where it wishes, or not moving at all. Thoughts that appear can be treated like shapes in the fog. They rise, they linger for a moment. Then they thin and fade, becoming part of the wider softness. No need to push them away. No need to follow them. They simply lose their edges and blend back into the quiet. The roles of the day fall away too. The names, the tasks, the plans, the stories you tell about who you are. All of them can gently slip off your shoulders like a coat placed over a chair at the end of a long evening. Here, you are simply a quiet presence resting in the arms of the hills. Nothing more is needed. Notice how safe it feels to let go in this place. The land has been here long before you. The hills have seen countless nights, countless clouds, countless drifting fogs. They know how to hold what they carry. You are just one more soft, sleeping shape on the surface of an ancient, patient earth. If any small tension remains, imagine the fog seeking it out, a cool, gentle touch finding each tight place. It curls around the tension, wraps it in softness, and slowly dissolves it into the air. Bit by bit, everything inside you becomes as loose and quiet as the mist itself. Soon, it is hard to tell where your body ends and the hills begin. The curves of your spine, the roundness of your shoulders, the gentle slope of your legs, all of them echo the curves of the land around you. You are hill and hollow, rise and fall, breath and silence. Just another smooth shape in the night. Breathing grows lighter now, slower. Each inhale arrives like a wave touching the shore. Each exhale draws you deeper into the soft ground, deeper into the calm that waits underneath all things. Sleep may come, or a deep, dreamy stillness that feels almost the same. Nothing asks you to stay awake. Nothing pulls at your attention. The world is wrapped in mist, tucked into the folds of the rolling hills. Inside this quiet, you can forget for a time who you have been today. You can simply be a quiet point of warmth in a vast, peaceful landscape. If a thought appears, let it be a distant light, far away beyond the fog. Dim, gentle, not demanding. It glows for a moment, then is gone. Only the softness of the night remains. The hills draw in even closer now, like arms around a sleeping child. Fog settles over you, over the grass, over every stone and leaf. Everything is equal here. Everything is loved, in the same quiet way. You are safe to drift, safe to sink, safe to disappear into this tender stillness, like a stone sinking into deep, clear water until even the ripple has faded. Now there is only breath, and the soft ground, and the silent hills, holding you, keeping you, as you slip into deep, gentle rest. The hills are very quiet now. The fog has settled into soft shapes and gentle curves, resting over the land like a light blanket. Air moves slowly, almost still, as if the whole world is breathing in a calm and easy rhythm. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to be done. The paths you travelled have grown dim and soft in the mist. They are still there, winding lightly over the rise and fall of the earth, but they no longer ask for your footsteps. They simply rest, like quiet lines drawn into the hills, holding the memory of every gentle step. All of it can fade into comfort now. Somewhere in the distance, a small breeze moves the fog, just a little. It drifts and curls, then loosens, then comes together again in a new shape. Everything here understands how to rest and how to move without effort. You are part of that soft, unhurried motion. The ground beneath is steady and kind. It holds your weight without question, without limit, without needing anything in return. You are completely supported here. You are free to be as still as you wish. The hills around you are only shadows now, gentle outlines in the dim light. Their edges have blurred, as though time has loosened its hold on them. Up close, far away, it all blends into one calm landscape of soft forms and easy silence. You can let your mind blur in the same way, soft at the edges, open and wide. Breath comes and goes, like the slow rise and fall of those distant slopes. In and out, without effort, without hurry. Each breath settles a little more deeply into the body, into the quiet places that are ready to rest. Nothing pushes, nothing pulls. Everything moves in its own gentle time. The mist feels almost like a thought that never needs to finish. It drifts in, then slips away, leaving behind only comfort and space. Any word that once seemed sharp now feels rounded, softened by distance and time. Even memories here grow feather-light, easy to hold, easy to release. Somewhere above, the sky stretches out, immense and dark and kind. The fog slowly rises toward it, becoming thinner, softer, lighter, like a sigh that has done its work and no longer needs to stay, like a feeling that has been fully felt and now lets go on its own. You have walked through gentle places tonight. You have followed soft paths, listened to quiet hills, and watched the mist breathe with you. Every small moment has been a step into more ease, more softness, more rest. All of that remains with you now, like a warm echo in the body. Here, at this still point, nothing asks you to move forward. Nothing asks you to look back. You are perfectly allowed to just be exactly as you are for as long as you wish. Time opens, wide and calm, and gives you room to rest. If any thought appears, it can float like a tiny leaf on slow water. It may drift closer, then gently turn, then glide away into the mist. You do not have to follow. You can stay on the quiet shore of your own calm presence, watching the water move without needing to step in. The air feels cool and kind against the skin. Each small sensation arrives, then fades, leaving you softer and softer. The body knows how to relax into this, how to sink into support, how to loosen one thread at a time. You can trust that quiet knowing. In this gentle stillness, the hills feel almost like sleeping giants, peaceful and protective. They hold your rest the way they hold the fog, with patience and quiet care. They do not rush the dawn. They do not rush you. Far away, at the edge of what can be sensed, the night stretches onward, endless and calm. It offers depth without edges, distance without demand. You can lean into that wide darkness, as though leaning into a soft, quiet room with the door left open. Safe, unhurried, empty in a comforting way. Thoughts may grow slower here, like footsteps that fall farther and farther apart. Between them, the spaces lengthen and grow soft. Those spaces are gentle rooms of silence, inviting you to rest inside them. You can linger there without needing words at all. If sleep comes, it can arrive as lightly as fog rolling over the crest of a hill. First, a cool whisper, then a soft veil, then a warm, complete covering, where everything becomes distant and kind. And if sleep does not come right away, that is also welcome here. You are still resting. The body is still unwinding, breath by breath, moment by moment. Just lying here in this quiet landscape is enough. You do not need to try to relax. You do not need to make anything happen. The hills are relaxed for you. The fog is drifting for you. The night is holding everything in a slow, easy embrace. Every part of you is allowed to soften in its own time. Mind, body, breath, each one moving gently toward quiet in its own way. Nothing to control, nothing to fix. Here, you are already exactly where you need to be, on this hill of stillness, in this field of soft air, inside this wide, safe darkness. You might feel the weight of your body as something comforting, like a stone settled deep into the earth. Not heavy in a tiring way, but steady, sure, anchored. The earth knows how to hold that weight easily. You can let it. Maybe there is a sense of floating at the same time. The mind light as mist. The body steady as ground. Both true, both gentle, both allowed. Slowly, the shapes of the hills grow more distant. They slip farther into the softness of the night, like memories fading into a calm, deep sleep. You do not lose them. They simply become part of the background of your rest, easy and quiet. Breath continues its gentle rhythm, all on its own, in and out, like small waves on a very still shore. Each breath nudges you a little deeper into comfort, a little deeper into ease, a little deeper into the warm, quiet center of yourself. If you wish, you may stay here on these misty hills, resting in their silent company. Nothing will disturb you. Nothing will hurry you. This place of soft fog and gentle ground will hold you as long as you like. Or you may drift further inward, beyond the hills, beyond the mist, into your own private landscape of dreams. A place only you can know. A place that welcomes you without words, without shape, just pure soothing rest. You will find your way there naturally, without effort, when the moment is right. For now, all that matters is this quiet, this breath, this soft, unhurried presence. Everything else can wait. The night is wide, the hills are resting. The fog has done its gentle work and can slowly dissolve into the dark, open sky. You are safe within this slow, tender fading. Nothing more is needed. Nothing more needs to be said. Only the soft drift of breath, the steady comfort of the ground, and the quiet sense that you may keep resting here, or slip deeper into your own peaceful dreams, carried onward by silence.